hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
Welcome back to another episode of the Your Barber Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Belide, a.k.a. Matty Blades. This is episode 52. This is going to be the final edition of the Barbers Series on the Your Barber Podcast. It was a good run. This kind of helped me get passionate again about the podcast. And, I'm going to try to keep it pushing forward. But today we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, and we're going to we're going to recap last week, the championship round, and we're going to preview the Super Bowl. So I'm going to bring in my guy who's 8-3 in the playoffs, my guy, John Gould. What's going on, John?
How you doing, man?
My man's hot in the playoffs, Mr. John Gould, coming in hot to the Super Bowl.
Was hoping the reverse mush would work for my Bills, but not so much.
You got to go sore subject right out of the gate. All right, let's.
Yeah.
So, were you one of these people like myself that was like, I'm not even gonna fucking watch the Super Bowl, man?
I know I'm watching. I'm not playing that game. We had that discussion at the shop all day today.
What's that?
You know,
not watching it.
Who's not watching? I'm like, damn well you're watching.
I'm watching it. We're all watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely took a break. It's nice that you get a week off, especially after a week like that one.
Yeah. Yep.
We're a little ill prepared. We're like, oh shit, we doing a pod tonight? Let's do it.
Like I said, when in a private message, I avoided all coverage outside of that first morning after that Monday after the conference championships. I tortured myself a little bit the next morning just to see if someone else was thinking what I was, and then after that I've kind of stayed away. But not to toot my own horn, I've been predicting KC Philly for a while, so I feel like I'm prepared in that sense.
Yeah, you've had this matchup picked out for quite some time now.
Yep.
So
unfortunately.
So 8-3 in the playoffs, dude. That's pretty good. You even picked against your team last week.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that was a nice sweep of a week for you. We both had right that the kind of the dream season for the Commanders was over. It was a good run.
Went out swinging though.
Yeah, they came out of the gate. Of course, oh man, I had a Sunday. I locked myself and my family out of the house the day of the game, with wings ordered at the place.
Ooh.
So I finally called the locksmith, which was, guess how much a locksmith is these days, John?
I wouldn't even know.
I'm like, I remember the day I was like, maybe $1.25, something like that. Like, I love how they act like it's a skill, like it's a science. Like, you got the Schlag master key back there. Like, just the guy brought the wrong one out the first time. I'm like, this guy's wearing a Fear God Essential sweatsuit when he walks out of the car. I'm like, oh, I'm about to get raped over here.
What would they run you?
Dude, he tells me 225. I'm like, geez, a little steep, no? All right. Sure, but I appreciate you coming out here fast. You're out there in like 10 minutes. I was like, all right, man. My wife and I already, like, she took the Uber. She stormed away. I'm like, why is it always on me? Anyway.
Yep, one of those.
Yeah, the guy shows up quick, says 225. Then I go to pay him. He gets in, right? Well, first he tells me it's going to be cheaper if he damages my door. I'm like, yeah, I can fucking do that. Like, I would do it for a lot cheaper too. The goal is to get in this house quick with no damage. So
no fake rock with the spare in it.
Oh man, my wife always brings her purse All right, I'm not going to get into it, but anyway. So I walked to his van for the receipt. And he gives me the thing $375. I'm like, dude, you lied to me. I'm like, what happened? And he's like, it's not me, dude. It's the company. It's Sunday. The fee, the fast, the emergency. I'm like, oh, dude, come on, man. Do you understand my frustration, Christopher? Do you understand?
Man.
So yeah, that's so I thought the game. I ended up getting food and everything, and I thought the game started at 3 or 3:30 or something, and it started at 3. And so I turned it on. The Saquon run just happened, like the second possession of the game, right?
Yeah.
That happened on their first possession, right? Phillies. Because Washington came out and they went for it on fourth like 3 times or something.
Yeah, they just kept going for it. Yeah.
Then, Saquon had the big run the next possession.
Man.
And then, so I didn't have a bet on that game, actually. I was going to wait and bet it live. And I saw Philly like kind of off to the races. And then there was a moment where Washington kind of got back into it. And that's when I took Philly minus 5.5 live, which was the original line I was so afraid of to start with. And then, of course, they would go on to mop up. That there was a possession. I just watched the recap. That was like the only research I did. I watched the highlight reel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that game because, of course, I remember the other game far more fondly. And there was a possession in the end of the third quarter. It was like last play. Washington was down 11, and they had the ball at the 50, 1st and 10. They threw a little bubble screen to Eckler. He caught the ball. He fell down. No one touched him. He got back up. As soon as he got back up, his head was up, and someone knocked the ball out. And then it's Philly ball, and then they're off to the races after that.
Yeah.
So it's over.
Yeah, I didn't get a shot to lock in anything. I was on the road coming back home from Philly. Made it back before the game, and
why were you out there again?
Bare knuckle boxing event at the Wells Fargo.
Oh, that's right. I saw pics of that. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty electric. But almost 18,000 fans in the stadium there in that arena. Completely different sport, obviously. Nothing to do with the Eagles. Everyone you've seen, head to toe, Eagles gear, all night long, starting the Eagles chant. And I'm like, man, it's like I come from a town and city where everyone's pretty passionate about the Bills. It's really the only thing we have here, and it like felt like home in that sense. Where I'm like, man,
they go hard, especially if they make it this far. They're not going to let you forget about it.
It was cool being there for that weekend, coincidentally, even though we took off that same day. But yeah, I wish I would have locked some stuff in because we were obviously pretty on point with that one, and I stayed away from live. I had the pregame jitters with the Bills game coming up, I think. So
yeah, I think you're celebrating your mom's birthday, right?
Yeah, we had the family over the house for my mom's birthday. So yeah,
that was a good distraction at least before everything got started.
Yeah.
So yeah, final score of that game was 50. Where'd it go? 55-23.
Oof.
The line opened at 5.5, closed at 6, and that didn't really matter at the end of the day. The highest rated PFF players. So this was Jalen Hurts' highest rating in 2 years or something in PFF. It was 91. Or no. Jalen Hurts' PFF rating was 85.3, which is kind of wild to think that was his highest in 2 years.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. But
yeah. Who would you guess the other 2 players are on this highest graded players in the game?
What, Saquon?
No, that's the surprise. Who are the 2 best other players on this?
Someone defensively for the Eagles got to be at least.
Yeah. Both of their corners.
Okay.
DeJean and Mitchell. So, yeah, DeJean had the highest 88.4. Mitchell had 84.3. So
Nasty tandem, man. Nasty tandem.
yeah, man. So what do you think about this Bills game, man? What was your kind of sentiment on
Uh,
how things
I
panned
mean,
out versus your expectations, I guess?
truthfully, it it kind of went how I thought it would. In terms
So
of
you
close
expected
game,
heartbreak.
yeah, down to the wire.
You
In my
screwed up right.
opinion, coaching let us down at the end there too. With I'm at a weird crossroads with McDermott as a Bills fan, where it's like he's he's got a he's got a scapegoat every time, and it's like I've now watched my favorite team lose to the same opposition for the fourth time in a row, the same exact way. Just got
Yeah.
very timid at the end there, and it's like you could only send a disguise Mahomes' way so many times before he knows you're not sending the blitz in, and you got your corners giving a cushion outside, and I don't know, man. It's like we just get picked apart for 5 to 10 yard 10 yard gain a pop, and that's it. Like when it matters most, like it's just we play scared to lose instead of ready to win and aggressive when it matters most. But a lot
Yeah.
of other factors too. Just I don't know, tough one.
Yeah. One thing I would definitely topic wise want to bring up once we get to the Super Bowl is fourth down success and things like that. Bills, I think, converted 4 fourth downs on that in that game. If you say that's right.
Uh,
Let's see
did
here. I
we
didn't even
four?
have it pulled up. I think I heard that at one point.
Yeah, all
Fourth
I get in my head
down.
is the ones we didn't. But
Both teams got 5 fourth down conversions. Or no, no, no,
wow,
no, no. I'm sorry. Four. I was looking at third down. 4 for 6. The Bills were on fourth down in that game. Chiefs were
yeah,
1-1. One
should have
four.
added one more to that list too. But well,
So what's your thoughts on those calls? I mean, in my opinion, I
we
think it
got
was
host.
horrific when the guy came running down at the top of the screen. And then I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Tell me they're gonna merge short here.
We got hosed for sure. I mean, who was it? Dawson Knox on the third down play. I thought that was more clear cut than the sneak on fourth down on that drive.
So
Um,
wait. What's the play you're referring to?
I think it was Dawson Knox. The on third. So the last drive we had where Josh got stuffed on fourth down, going up the same gap once again. Where you had the two officials giving the two
Right.
different
That
spots.
play, yeah. So the
The
play
down
before
right
that.
before it, I believe, was Dawson Knox. I want to say that was like more of a clear cut first down than the play
Oh,
after on fourth, and they didn't even give him the spot there.
I saw a compilation of them ruling them short, like on the down before, on like clear first downs when
Yeah.
when when they're spotting the ball and there's commotion and shit, like just like on the low.
Now
Yeah, that
my thing, like if I'm looking at it from a non-biased angle, is coaching again. Like just don't even give them the opportunity to hose you on those bad calls, but is what it is. I mean, I like when that's coming through the headset that you're running the same exact sneak up the same exact gap again. I would hope you would override it and say let's just switch it up a little bit, but is
it's
what it
tough.
is.
It's
Yeah.
tough when he's not calling the plays. I mean, it can't all fall on him, but I mean, eventually, man, 0 for 4 in the playoffs. A lot of coaches don't make it, or against one team in the playoffs. Most coaches don't make it through that.
I got one more in me until I'll start waving that flag heavy, but
Well, it seems like he made it through. He's here now. Wouldn't you assume so?
what's that?
McDermott. He's not getting fired or anything.
No, 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 no. not this. I don't even think that's in question from anyone besides the fans.
Right.
Yeah.
If he had 1 year, if he didn't make the playoffs, that would be the year they would let him go, just because they'd have a good enough reason. You would think, right?
Maybe. The common like rebuttal is just, what are you going to get that's better, right? And I mean, that's like, it's
Yeah.
easy to say, and I don't know. And I don't place all the blame on him. I definitely don't. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's the definition of insanity at some point where it's like, you just, what are we going to do? Just keep running it back, dusting off the same playbook, expecting a different result, going up against what's potentially the greatest of all time. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
What are you gonna do?
What's James Cook's future look like there?
What's he in? We got him for one more year, I think, off that
Okay.
rookie deal.
He's about to. This is going to be even better of a year for him.
Well, dude, I
Contract
was
year,
expecting them to say he was injured the way we strayed away from him at the end of the game, and then
right?
next thing you know, they say he's going to the Pro Bowl, he's healthy and ready to go, which that was even more of a head scratcher. How do
He's
you
one of
stray
the
away
few
from him?
players that went from the championship round that said yes.
I know. I I don't know. I felt like we could have ridden him a little more too, second half, but
Yeah, they got away from that a little bit. What did you think of the double catch?
uh
I thought it was
that one
complete
didn't bother me
bullshit.
as, yeah, it didn't bother me as much as some of the others. It had to just call it incomplete, right? It's an incomplete pass either way, right?
I mean, the it just drives me nuts how much they lean on that. Well, you got to go with the play on the call on the field there.
I
No, you
know.
don't. Not now. Not this time of year. You don't. Like, so dumb. Like the ball, like it was a pick until the ball like switched possessions as it's hitting the ground. Like just right there. Come on.
I don't know if I'm remembering, like, if my memory's fogged a little. Like, I feel like even if we had social media, you know, to the magnitude that we do now for the whole entirety of the Brady era, like there
Yeah.
was no way this many calls and games and like close situations were under like this like tight of scrutiny, right? Like I feel like there's just no way. I don't know if I'm remembering wrong, but it's just like week after week this year,
It's
something
definitely
is
amplified.
controversial.
Definitely amplified.
It's crazy.
But I mean, the Pats even during their run, I mean, they were highly. They cheat. They got caught like 3 times.
Yeah.
That was because there was, they bounced out the box score here. Of course, the Chiefs had 5 penalties. Bills had 6 penalties. So of course they
Yeah.
always come in crucial moments when it's against the opposition, and
How
that's
about the
that metric
flag?
you were talking about.
The phantom flag on the last play where Josh
Yeah,
Allen
you know
somehow
what that
gets the ball
was?
downfield.
Here's my theory on what that was. They thought Kincaid caught it, and they're like, "Nope, we're waving that off." Oh, he dropped it. All right, fucking pick it up.
Right.
That's what that
Otherwise,
was.
what's it thrown for? You're gonna call it if it's on the defense, right?
Right.
Or I'm sorry, you're gonna
You're
call
on the,
it if it's
right.
on, yeah.
It's on the Bills. Yeah, I love how they were like, they're not going to add another one against us here. Just wipe it away. Just make it disappear now.
Unreal.
Like,
They
oh,
like
shit, he
this.
caught that? Let's drop the flag.
I hate to be that guy because like I haven't, like, when the average person asks me, I'm not crying about the refs, but I don't know, when you sit there and dissect it, it's got to be brought up, obviously. Now, on the
So
flip
about
side,
we just named 4 pretty big moments with
I
the
know,
adding the third moment of the third down Kincaid play that you brought up. There's 4 right there on crucial plays.
I know.
So
Yeah,
it's sick, man. And
you got to
that's
be perfect to
that's
beat
just
them.
those are just the ones we're bringing up, let alone. I felt like they let guys play a lot more these playoffs too. It wasn't as flag happy. So I
Yeah,
think
thankfully,
overall they let them play, but it's
100%.
just the crucial moments in these. big games that everyone wanted to see and everyone wanted to watch, and it kind of went the way everyone predicted.
I mean, I pulled up PFF myself because you're always locally who people are just absolutely destroying. No, it's not loading on me here. So the lowest PFF grade from that game, DeMar Hamlin, 27.5.
I see it.
Uh,
Ed Oliver had the high. Vaughn had the second highest. Look at that.
Matt Milano was the second lowest, which was just so
Interesting.
disappointing.
Yeah.
39.8. He was so lights out the first two rounds of the playoffs, and then just
His
that was a
coverage
tough one.
grade killed him.
Yeah, Kyer Elam just putrid coming in off the bench.
So him coming in, I almost forgot about that. That was massive.
Yeah,
that was
that
huge.
killed him. Then
that was early too. That was first half.
And in Babish and McDermott's defense, that's going to kill what you want to do schematically. But
right,
I wish they would have reached for either Cam Lewis or I can't remember the kid's name, number 46. He had a couple big games earlier in the season, a couple picks. I wish they would have turned to one of them just to switch it up because Elam was getting just peppered all game after that. But it was a rough go. Rough go.
He's a rookie, right?
Elam?
Yeah.
No, they drafted him.
Well, 2
what was
years.
this third
Couple
year?
years ago.
That was their first round pick. The year a lot of people projected Buffalo to draft Breece Hall.
Yeah, 2022.
The big thing at the time was McDermott. At the time, primarily ran zone, and Elam's a man cover corner, so that's why they assumed he wasn't getting playing time for a long time, and then gets his number called on in the biggest game of the season and laid a dud. So, yeah.
I'm looking at his coverage grades on the year. His highest coverage grade was against Jacksonville. Trying to think. And he had 14 snaps. Okay, here, his highest grade with games where he actually played was 68 against Detroit. 66 was the average, was the overall rating.
Yeah.
But I mean, PFF, that's not horrific, but it's not going to get done in the playoffs. Then, of course,
yeah,
40, putrid 40 against KC, and he was in the 50s in the other games he really played. Yeah, because he had to play week 9, 16, 18 in the championship round. Not great, Bob. Like
Jamarcus Ingram, that's the name. I just had to type it in. It was driving me nuts. I couldn't think of it. I wish they would have reached for him, little Cam Lewis, something. But
I saw this earlier. The Chiefs have a negative net yards per play. Did you know that?
No.
They have a negative net yards per play. They're an anomaly, dude. That's why I can't. Like,
they hadn't broken 30 before that game either. I know that too. That was another stat.
Around the top of this week, I was starting to get more and more hopeful for Philly. I'm like, man, I wonder if they can give them fits defensively. I wonder, like, defensively, they're really going to pose a challenge. I see? Let's go ahead and bring it on then. Well, let's do it then.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the spread now? This is why I saw that like a week ago. 1.5.
Let me double check here.
I got you got your ear to the streets.
I got one.
You got one.
Yep.
Let's see what they got it here. It's one.
Got one on 2 sites, I believe. Let me double check.
Yeah, opened 1.5. It is 1 now. Wait, why does it say 1.5 here? Yeah, Philly
Yeah,
money line.
I got it one on 2 different sites. Yep.
So we're talking before. You haven't. First off, let's touch on something that happened. Do you want to bring up what you did?
Oh, sure.
Oh,
So
that's right.
adding adding salt to the wound, I'm watching. So my whole life as a Bills fan, just being a pathetic franchise for 3 quarters of my life so far, I've always said if we ever go to the Super Bowl and I'm in a position to be in attendance, I'm gonna do so. So watching ticket prices, the week leading up to conference championship and right after Buffalo won. I mean, like, I'm hearing reports at first, like, oh, you could get in the door for around 4K again. And of course, that's before service fees, whatever else. But Buffalo wins, they get in the conference championship, and I'm watching, like, over a span of 2 days, ticket prices increase like $1,000 each day. So,
Shit.
driving home the night before Saturday night when I was in Philly, my wife booked me a flight with a 24-hour cancellation fee to New Orleans. Plan on meeting a buddy of mine. He was gonna come in from Florida to New Orleans. We are gonna meet there if the Bills made it. So looking at tickets the next day, saw the price going up again. So my thought process is, all right, let's lock in. I had another buddy who contacted me. He said he was in. So I'm like, all right, they're climbing by the thousand, like if the Bills win, the value's only going to increase. So let's
Bills
lock
win
in.
that game, dude. I think you're right on with it.
Yep. So we get the tickets. And I'm saying I'm documented going on your pod saying I think the Bills are gonna lose. I tell my buddy I think we're gonna lose. I got a little bit of hope, so like let's do it, whatever. And then his instant reply is, honestly, like I think we could make a few bucks on it if we sell them after. Say if we don't make it, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right.
I would
Not
think so
knowing,
too.
yeah. Well, like to begin with, the whole resale thing is a scam when you use these third party sites because they hit the second buyer with another processing fee. So essentially, I would need this scenario to happen where a team like Buffalo would win so that the the
Recover
face
that
value
once.
of my ticket could increase and then it would cover the second service charge that I don't see anything of and the site sees. So that doesn't happen. Ticket value instantly drops $1,000 from where we purchased it at. And at the time we're like, no, obviously not going to do that. It's going to go up. Long story short, these are the lowest prices in years because we got the same 2 teams making it once again that no one wants to see. And we took a bath for almost a few thousand each, me and my buddy. We finally, my wife finally got them sold Monday night, and luckily she did because they dropped again. Like it's
Oh my
insane,
god.
man. I think
No one wants to
everyone,
see Kendrick even. Jeez.
to be transparent, we paid a little over 7 grand per ticket, and we sold them for 4,500 a piece.
Yeah, man. What the
You
hell?
know, I had a one upper in the shop yesterday. I was telling my wife, and he's, at least you sold them. I knew someone who went to the game, and when she went to get in the stadium, they told her no, it's a fake ticket. And I'm like, buddy, I
Yeah.
wish that made me feel better at this moment, but that story from 15 years ago where she paid less than what I just lost on these tickets
Right.
doesn't make
Yeah.
me feel any better.
Yeah. They're $500. No.
But yeah,
Yeah. That sucks,
lesson
man.
learned. So if you go to buy them in the future, look around 10 days into it. That's when they'll typically dip because the season ticket holders that win the lottery will sell theirs for cheaper at that time. and then usually it spikes back
Drops
up.
its
But
price.
this year it didn't because I purchased them, so that's why. But yeah,
So are you still paying attention to the prices of it? Just to
my
see, just in case it goes back up.
it hasn't because my buddy sent me I didn't see exact prices, but he sent me a post on Instagram that said like the percentage that they were down now, and
There's no
he's like, you
coming.
can't make this up. Like it just keeps like dropping. It's insane.
This three-peat shit, Taylor, people are, it's just like, come on, man.
I'll tell you what, man. I think they overestimate the amount of corporate sales and they underestimate the amount of average people that go to these
People.
games. Like
Yeah,
that might be a testament to that.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, I can see that. Are you having a party? Are you going somewhere for it?
We'll have a little bit of family at the house. I'll probably have my brothers come over. Nothing crazy. Be nice to be home. Get the kids down. You know how that goes. That way we don't have to leave anywhere.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out. The same place we went to last year. We're seeing if they do it again. If not, then I don't know. My wife wanted to go out, and I'm like, babe, you don't go out for the Super Bowl, especially in Atlanta of all places.
Sure.
In Arizona, we actually did that one year. It was the Pats Falcons Super Bowl,
Ooh.
and we were at a Vikings bar of all places. Dude, that had to be an anomaly. We were like the only people there. We're like sitting outside in February in Arizona watching the game, like wing. I mean, it was like, this is pretty underrated. I was like, this is never going to happen again like this.
Right.
So, yeah, we got to figure that out. So, what are some of the bets on it? Let's go straight to the gambling here
Sure.
before the
What are we
handicap.
talking? So, we talking just we want to talk the line first before we get into player props.
Well, so let's start pre-game bets. Are you into these at all, John?
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna have probably 2 sheets full of props for this.
Nice. Well, what about like the games before the game start, or the bets before the game starts?
As in what? What do you like? Coin
Like
toss? You
coin
talking?
toss, coin
Yeah.
toss.
National anthem.
It's a national anthem. That's my favorite one.
Who do we got doing it this year? I don't
I
even
don't
know.
know. My site doesn't post. It hasn't posted it in 3 years, and it's a damn shame because it's my favorite bet.
Oh, I get it
Normally, the
every
time
year.
is between a minute 25 to a minute 27, and you just got to kind of do your research after that. Look at their weight. One year, I took Kelly Clarkson under her time. It was probably something in that ballpark, 126.
Was the year I'm thinking of? I want to say, got to be maybe 6 years ago. Or who was the Super Bowl? It was Rams Patriots. I think it was Gladys Knight sang the national anthem. Maybe
Rams
right.
Bengals. And did you see I got the timer outside the stadium saying if you know, you know?
Was it Gladys Knight? Was it that year?
I don't know. I don't know who sang it, but I do remember
I'm
that
specific.
stopwatch clip.
I'm remembering it was a soulful singer, so we went with the over just based off of that, like dragging out the notes.
Right.
And I'll
Didn't
never
hit.
forget it. Me and my buddies were cheering like when it went over, we were cheering like it was a live, like something that actually happened in the game. It was amazing.
It's
And
so fun. It's
yeah,
the most exhilarating bet of the game almost because the game hasn't even started yet.
I don't know if I have any odds to that stuff yet, but I will be taking them. I
That
guess.
stuff pops up late. It could.
Yeah, we'll
But
figure
dude,
out who
one year
that is.
Kelly Clarkson singing it. This is like, I mean, a decade ago at least. I saw she has had a kid, and she sang at the NBA Finals that last summer. And so I timed that. I'm like, okay, we're at this. She just had a kid. The numbers that and above. Oh, I'm taking the under. She's gonna be winded, short breath. Let's get this shit done with. I was, I was like, I was like fucking Ray Liotta and Goodfellas. Jimmy!
Yeah.
Slapping the
Exactly.
wall.
Exactly.
One
It's
year
fun.
we had a party when we lived in PA, and like people were showing up as like the national anthem. Like, come on in, I got a bet right now. Come on. Like, I'm timing this right now. I got the timer going. Come on in, come on. Got refreshments over here.
Yeah, I don't see any of that on the only thing I have in that regard right now is coin toss. That's it, which is obviously standard, like 110 either way, and then team to win, or coin toss call correct, and then who will win it. So I'll do all that though.
What do you think of the Gatorade color?
Yeah, I can't find
I
odds
don't
for
see
that
that one
too.
yet either.
So
Those will come late.
I think I'll do the proper research on that every year and then still somehow get it wrong. So
I've
maybe
never gotten that right.
I think I'm just gonna ask one of my kids this year and see what they go with.
All right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
One year there was a big beat on like in Vegas that the rumor was it was going to be purple, and it was fucking wrong. It was like orange or something. And that was the only time I bet that, and the last time I'll bet that one.
I'll bet it again. That's a fun one to like nerd out and like I said, do all that
Like,
research.
wait, it's not over. Wait.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Did they do it yet? What? So we were talking before the pod started on some of our favorite, just like, ones at the top of our head that we would like. And you said Hollywood Brown, and I thought you meant AJ Brown. And I was like, yeah, me too. Oh, wait, no. So you like Hollywood Brown. What's the number you had? You saw 40? Over 40 yards receiving?
41 and a half.
41 and a half.
Over -113, under -115.
And understand people that are new to this, like, you're not going to get a lot of even odds on the Super Bowl. The whole game for Vegas is to just make money off the vig, to spread this out.
Yep.
It's like everything's the only thing you'll find like that is something that's like obviously not going to happen. You'll get plus money, but even if it seems even, anything that would normally be even is going to be laying $105, $110 at least.
So they have Xavier Worthy on whatever site I'm looking at is like the highest projected Chief for the over-under total at 57.5. Kelsey 64.5. What I was thinking.
Kelsey hurt. Did you hear this?
I don't know.
I would stay away from Kelsey if he's banged up.
Yeah, and wow, what the hell is this? Noah Gray, 11.5
yards receiving.
Yeah, seems a little weird.
Here's this one. I actually bet this one. Isaiah Pacheco, over 4.5 yards receiving. 4.5 yards. That's one catch. That's one dump. I do understand Samaje Perine kind of their third down guy. He catch. If you want to bet, if you want a dark horse, I saw this player to have most. What was it, dude? It was like plus 8,000 or something, and it was like player with most receptions in the game, possibly. And I saw Perine on Denver last year, and he's playing the same exact role for the Chiefs this year. He will just catch dump passes late in the game when they need hurry up offense and they can guarantee pass protection. Sure. He's your guy. So if they're trying to run hurry up before halftime, I could see him catching 2-3 passes, just that drive. And if he gets down on obvious passing downs, things like that, he can catch dump passes. So there's a dark horse, like long shot that could very well happen. Look up, that one. What was it? Most receptions in the game for both teams.
Yeah, and I so going back to Hollywood Brown, where I'm at with him is I think he's going to play a similar role to what Kadarius Toney played a couple Super Bowls ago, where
obviously he fell apart
like
Right.
ultimately, but for that playoff run, I think it was maybe the conference championship and then the Super Bowl. Like he was a game breaker. I see Hollywood Brown being that type of player. I don't know, I don't know, weren't half of Worthy's yards on that simultaneous possession play against us. Like I
He
know
just
he's
caught
a
a bunch of
burner.
quick screens. He had the
I
one
like
play, he had
Hollywood
like a
here.
juke where it was like, okay, cool 4-yard game, bro.
If we look at receptions for the Chiefs, Hollywood's 3.5, receptions minus 130 for
What's
the
Kelsey's
over,
number at?
6.5. Which is that doesn't match up with the yardage, right? 6.5 is plus 114 for the over, under minus 150.
I really like. If I see this number at 7, I'm taking the under right now.
Which it might move
It's
up there.
6.5.
Yeah.
My wait, the overs, the over. I mean, they're loving people to bet the under here. I mean, minus 160 the under.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marquise
Weird
Brown
numbers
3.5.
here. Noah Gray plus 114 for over 1.5 catches.
Saquon can't catch the football worth a damn. If he has any flaw, it's his hands, right?
Here's a plus money bet I like.
What's that?
Seems like a sucker bet. I know you like AJ Brown. 5.5 catches plus 100. I say he
I
gets
got it
6
5.
grabs. Okay.
I got it 5 over minus 140. What's the over for that one? You said
So 5.5 is plus money. Plus
that's
100.
why the number they're suckering people in on that one.
Yeah.
That's why I like we can compare these books like this because
Yep.
this is the game to do it.
Let's see here.
So what's you want one of your picks on here? One of your like picks you want to be solidified, the Hollywood Brown over yardage total?
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and say we'll throw the
I'm
game
trying to
in
think
there
how we
too.
could do this. You think we should
Yeah.
do 3 that we love?
Outside of the spread.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Yeah, I'll
didn't.
lie.
Yeah. I feel like the spread's the last thing I'm thinking about, but we'll do that too. So 4 plays. Or let's do 5. Let's just make it 5 plays.
Hollywood Brown over 41.5 at minus 113 is a play for me for sure. I think that yardage
Okay.
there, I see him eclipsing that. I love that play.
And I'm on AJ Brown over 70 yards receiving.
Yep. 73.5 minus 114 for me.
That's pretty good value I'm getting, I feel like.
Yep.
So it is 70.5. I was right. Minus 130 though. What's 173?
73.5. The over is minus 114.
Yeah.
Quick plug. I've mentioned it before. A client of mine created an app. What's it called?
Props.
Propbot.ai.
Propbot.ai.
Propsbot.ai.
Props.
This is the time to lock into that account.
For sure.
They're gonna have
Anytime you're gonna bet props, it's now.
Yeah. And they'll have all the trends for these players in certain scenarios. So that's a good one to lock in.
What's your second play you like here?
Let's see here. I was looking at passing yards. Man.
I got one for you that's sexy.
Go ahead.
This one's on fire. You ever seen Scarface? She's on fire. That's what this one is.
Let's hear it.
Chiefs 4th down conversion made. Yes. It's minus 165. But I think that's golden.
Chiefs 4th down conversion made. Yes, minus 165.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that.
I love that too. Yeah. They're getting a fourth down conversion.
And I was trying to look for fucking Phillies because of the tush push, of course. It's nowhere to be found. I'm like, these motherfuckers. That's the one. That's the real one. If you find Will Philly convert a fourth down minus 230, bet it still. I don't give a shit. That's like a Floyd Mayweather bet. Like, just put the house on it.
See, I'm trying to find team props here too, because I love taking the sack prop every single Super Bowl.
I
take
saw
a
it
sack.
at 5.5, I believe, when I was looking at it.
Yeah, and I can't.
Super Bowl
I'm just
sacks
seeing
happen in the Super Bowl. People hold on to the ball. People don't want to make mistakes. Do you want that to be your second bet?
No. All right, here's one that I was looking for though. Let's see here. First, I saw one for first drive. I think is pretty interesting.
First drives are fun. What's that one?
Damn. You steal the show for. So that was your second bet or your first? The one you said.
That was my second one. So the first bet was A.J. Brown over 70.5 yards receiving. And number 2 was will Chiefs convert a fourth down? Yes, minus 165.
Okay.
I can throw one more in there. Here's number 3. I'm going to go with Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions, minus 145.
Dallas Goedert over on receptions. Okay.
Hurts coming off his best game, threw to them at will. Both of those guys, AJ and Dallas. And so there's 3 right there for you. Dome, lock them in.
All right, let's see here. So I'm gonna look to passing yards.
Okay.
I like Jalen Hurts under for passing yards. They got him listed for me at 213.5. I like the under.
What odds?
Let's see here. So
Tell
this
us the
site,
story.
I got him at minus 114 for either over under 213.5.
Man, that seems low to me in a way.
Yep.
He really doesn't go crazy though. I mean, these playoffs.
He did in the last Super Bowl, and I was kind of hoping
for regression.
I was kind of hoping that would be in recent memory for people too, because that kid balled out. Like, I've never seen him play like that before that game or after. He had a hell of a game of his life. But I like the under there, so that's my second pick, I'll say. Let's see here.
I'm looking at their just wild card round versus the Packers. I have a distant memory at this point. 131 yards receiving or passing. 131. Okay, not great, Bob. And
I'm gonna go with And Patrick Mahomes 253.5. I like the over. I won't lock that in for my third though. I got a sucker bet for my third, a nice low number for us to squeeze to go over. Rushing yards. Xavier Worthy, 6.5 minus 110 for the over. Lock it in.
6.5 yards?
Sucker bet, but I like it.
It does seem like a sucker bet to me.
And this is the postseason for sucker bets, at least for us on this podcast. So,
but I like it at the same time. I do like it.
Yep. Lock it in.
Man, that's pretty low.
Right?
I like that. I like that one.
Yep.
So we got 3 and 3 right now. Here's my 4. Distance of first field goal made. Over 36.5. minus 115.
I like that.
36 yards. So we're
like
talking
that.
about earlier. Dude, everyone's going for it on fourth down now, right? This is the time where the fourth down is just thrown out there like nothing now. So I'm thinking if there's any time they're more likely to settle for that field goal, it's the first one.
Sure.
What do you think? Late in the game, I feel like they're going for blow here, especially these two teams.
You always take the points early. Yeah, you settle the nerves, get on the board if you can, for sure.
But at the same time, it's 4th and 1, across that 40, 46. They're going to go for it probably.
Stuff is nutty this year especially, but
so it's got to be it's got to be semi-deep, and it's got to be Butker because what's-his-face sucks for the Eagles. Has he fell off a little bit?
Has he?
I've heard people bitch about him.
I don't even know.
I have a lot of Philly fans, I feel like, in my chair.
So Vegas is on point with you because team to score longest field goal is KC at minus 143, Philly plus 107.
Yeah, Butker's going to have to kick he'll bang like a 54-yarder, and we'll smoke that number over 36 and a half. Huh?
Here's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
First drive result. Some juicy plays here. Punt plus 113. Offensive touchdown plus 261. Field goal attempt plus 353.
Ooh.
Any other plus 550. Field goal attempt. Other too. Field goal attempt or other, right? Field goal attempt plus 353.
Man.
Little 48-yarder from Butker hit the double there.
Or I could see like a third and long sack, then they kick a chip shot for like 40, 42, and you're still over the 36 and a half, and you hit plus 300 whatever you just said for the field goal.
All those at plus money. I mean, those are fun right there. Play two of them.
Think about the best play calls a lot of teams have is that opening drive script.
Offensive touchdown plus 261.
So if you want to go to touchdown route, I feel like that's the contrarian play.
Sure.
Last year I played
113.
first touchdown scored. Who you like there? Out of the list you see.
First touchdown scorer. Let me see here. I got team to score first here. What do you have for odds? I'm struggling here to find what I'm looking for on all these.
My site always times out in 5 seconds, so I always take.
I got it. First touchdown scorer. Let's see. How about? Ooh. There's some good ones here. Who do you like to? All right, Chiefs are favored to score first in this game.
Without seeing it, I'm going to guess who the number one. I think Travis Kelce's number one, Saquon's two, right?
Or is Saquon one, Jalen Hurts
Saquon's
two,
one.
Hurts two, Kelce three.
Interesting.
So we got a name that stuck out.
People are done with Kelce, dude. They are.
Yeah.
They want this shit to be over with.
A name that stuck out.
Goes big.
Yeah. And the first name that popped in my head before I pulled this up was Kareem Hunt. He's plus 875 in fourth place. Xavier Worthy plus 1,000. I like Kareem Hunt or Xavier Worthy. I think are two solid plays for first touchdown scored. Now, if you want to play one from each team, what do you go? I mean.
So here's I'm going to pick one that's realistic. I'm going to pick a long shot that could happen. I like Goddard, first score.
1,800.
Whoa. And here's the long one. Noah Gray. Where's he at?
2,500.
Woo!
2,500. Noah Gray, I was just looking at too. That's a good play for a long shot.
Noah Gray, especially if Kelsey's banged up. Oh, they set up something with Kelsey and Noah Gray on the under drag. Runs right around there.
D Hop 2,500. Juju 3,000. Couple interesting plays here. Phillies defense 3,500. KC defense 3,700.
That would be big. What's the? You have the opening kickoff touchdown. That won't happen. It could happen actually if they let him return it, which I don't think they will. I think I think there's not going to be a single kickoff that's returnable. Is that a bet? That's a good bet. Will there be a return punt or a kickoff? No.
There usually is. Because I'll tell my grandparents or my grandkids about the story of when I took Devin Hester and he returned the opening one. So yeah, I did. I want to say I was like a senior in high school, and that's like old school call up the bookie days, and we had that, and the opening one went for a touchdown. So I'll never forget that.
I was still a little too young. I think what Super Bowl was that? 06?
Either that or 07. Yeah.
It may have turned 07 and it was the 06 Super Bowl. That was the Colts Bears. Rex Grossman, QB for the Bears, got a Super Bowl start. Who would have thought that?
Does this interest you? The last touchdown scorer.
I don't like that.
Nope.
Doesn't that kind of steers away from what I would like to happen. So,
because I know one person I like when I see this list.
Oh, it's a player. I thought it was you're going team.
No.
Oh wow, I like Hurts.
Okay. He's number 2 on the list.
Oh, he's number 2.
I like Mahomes at plus 1,900.
Ooh.
Methodical, surgical drive down the field, bootleg in for the easy
prance
score.
In the end zone there. A little
1,900.
He walks right in, just
Yep. And these are good long shot plays for fun for people. That's the thing. Like the first 3 or 4 we rattled off, that's if you want to put a little more on it. We got to talk about the line. Like what at some point here, who do you like?
I'm going to I'll throw my Pacheco bet out there too as like a little, side one too. That over 4.5 yards receiving. That was my other one.
I like that play.
I like I like Philly money line, man. I'm gonna stick to what I'm not gonna flip flop now and bet these motherfuckers.
Plus 100 for the money line. You got to go money line, obviously. Plus 1 minus 110 money line plus 100. So you got to.
Yeah, man. I think that's the way to go.
I'll go Chiefs laying the 1, obviously, because they're minus 110 there. Money line's 120, so it would make 0 sense. You go Chiefs minus 1 there.
Here's my big reason why the Chiefs aren't going to win.
Let's hear it.
ESPN doesn't want to pay Pat Riley to say 3-peat. The powers that be is like, God, what are we going to say? Chiefs Pete the whole time?
I know. I heard a stat today that is a little alarming for anyone picking against the Chiefs too. And different team, different personnel. I 100% get it because this Eagles defense is fierce. They control the line on both sides of the ball, but defensively, like they'll get a handful of their sacks could come from coverage. They get coverage sacks because they're so good outside. but you know him well too, being a Bronco fan. The man at the helm for this defense, pulling the strings, is Fangio. Patrick Mahomes is 8-0 against Vic Fangio defenses.
By a very slim margin. Do you know how close they came to getting beat? But Drew Lock fucking fumbled before halftime or some dumb shit like that.
And this
They
is
knew
the
the
narrative.
quarterback was during Fangio's run, and we still almost beat them. Like we'd be winning at halftime, and fucking Drew Lock would throw a pick six and his like third turnover in Chiefs territory.
So I understand where you're coming from, but that's the narrative of the season, right? By just barely. Like,
You're
and
right.
that's
You are right. But the
so I
quarterback's
just
not Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater is my point.
yeah, and I mean Mahomes is familiar with it. He knows what looks are
No,
coming his
the
way.
thing is he never did well. He never did well against the defense. If there was a defense he struggled against the most in recent years against the Broncos, that was the one. We were in games we had no business in being in.
All right.
Because we had Pat Shurmur running it on second.
Cutting out there. I don't know.
Long every fucking time. Oh. Yeah, man. My laptop's 6%.
Okay.
So let's try to close this thing out with our last opinions here.
Yeah. So this was we're a little all over the place. This, like you said, we were ill prepared last minute, so some fun prop bets, but you're locked in on Philly money line. I'm KC -1. Yeah, 3-peat. We got some good props in here. I'd say, what's your strongest prop?
The one I liked the most was that the Chiefs' 4th down conversion.
Okay. I like that one too. And then I'll say you know what? I'll go damn.
Yes.
I don't know if I think
that's
you're
the one I'm
golden
going
either
with,
way.
the 4th down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say either way, receptions for Hollywood Brown or yards. I think either of those you're good with. I like him to have a breakout game for the Chiefs being X factor.
So I'm gonna have to close this out, man. I think we got in what we got.
I like that we're on opposite ends again, so it'll be good. We'll close out with a bang there, being on opposite ends of the main line for the game.